Okay, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Move to Premium. And in this week's edition, we are going to talk about needing your help. That's right, I need your help. In fact, I've needed your help all along. It's just hard to get everybody to participate sometimes. So, always be on the lookout for those updates from YouTube. And please feel free to make comments and suggestions in the comment sections on YouTube, okay? That would help me out a lot. Thank you. Of course, you can also like and subscribe. That helps the channel out, helps me out in a big way, and so for that I'm grateful. Okay, so let's get into it. What we're talking about basically is socialism versus capitalism, or, if you want to go the religious route, what would Jesus do? And it's also just, individual personal freedoms and rights versus what's best for the common good, right? And so, yeah, what we're trying to figure out is, I introduced the wildcard crop in the previous video. Now we're trying to establish who can decide whether the wildcard crop should grow on another grower's field. And that's not clear. It's not clear. It's not clear that an outside force should impose itself on a grower who's minding their own business. But it's also not clear that an individual should have the rights to do as they please and just totally disregard any social or communal obligations, right? And so that's a tough line to straddle. And so if anyone has any particular insights, that would be great. But I think to solve it, we're just going to go ahead and play through a late to end game scenario where everyone is on the brink of trying to score their grand uptas. Grand uptas, if you recall, are the scenarios where you try to grow every crop that's on every field correctly. And if you do all 12 crops in the game, then that gets you 50 extra points, which shows that it's a major coup for you, a huge accomplishment. So, all right, so looking at what we have here, we're going to go ahead and roll. We'll just give each player 30 tokens. All things being equal. All right. So here's a 6. Grower A over here, they're looking for carrots. They're looking for peas. They're looking for spinach. Okay, so we don't have that right now. So we're looking to see if maybe we should grow something on another field, but that's not going to affect this grower, so we'll move on. Grower B has a 5. What's their scenario? They're looking for spinach, cucumbers, and peas. Spinach, cucumbers, and peas that they have, so they'll just go ahead and grow these. Cucumbers, spinach. Yeah, so you'll notice that in-game UFTA becomes really hectic and suspenseful because everyone is trying to, use their last few turns to be as productive as possible. Here's a 5. Here we have broccoli, carrots. We have cucumbers. They need corn and potatoes, and spinach. Okay, so they happen to have all of those. Here's corn, here's potatoes, here's spinach. Okay, so let's just move to the next thing. Kale. Let's go ahead and give people some items. Let's say that they bought earlier in the game. Okay, so here we have a 5. Still looking for carrots. We're wondering if other people have carrots, so maybe we're going to do a deal. And we're going to open up the trading. So if I look over here, you know, I'll pretend I don't know they have carrots, but I can tell from just looking at their fields and looking at the harvested crops what maybe they're trying to go after. Right? They need peas. They need peas. I don't have peas. This corner, they need beans. Okay, so perfect. So here we're going to work out, I can tell just from looking at their stuff what they might need. And so I'm going to offer up beans. Offer up the beans. So in return for carrots. So there's a trade. Great game, Ukta. We're going to go ahead and plant those carrots. And might as well plant some cucumbers. Anything else that's next to it. All right. Rolling on. Gambling is not going to happen. A 2. That's a 2 to do. Potatoes. And we'll just buy a card. Flood card. Okay, so we're going to play the flood card on everyone. I can't do that. Yeah, I think I established in the rules that you can't play the flood card on more than one opponent. You have to choose an opponent. So in this case, it's going to be this grower. So they're going to lose their stuff. Carrots and cucumbers are gone. Which is yet another example of why it's hard to accomplish everything you set out to do in Ukta. So many of life's adversities and problems arise. You have to have some safety nets, social safety nets in place to try to conquer some of these problems, right? Okay, so here we go, 6. Sabotage. Look at sabotage instead of harvesting. Yeah, but in this case it makes more sense. Cultivate and harvest. This person may have completed their objective. Spinach on this one, cucumbers on this one. 9 and 7, 16. Okay. So 6 is a sabotage. I could sabotage them over there. You know, I could use up both of my actions to sabotage over there. Or I could, you know, just focus on me and try to accomplish as much as I can with my particular assets. And so in this case, I'm going to accomplish what? We need carrots. We tried to grow the carrots, we lost them. So next we need peas. So we're going to give them something nice. We'll give them squash for peas. They agree. They don't have to agree, though. That's the part that I can't really control from a game productivity standpoint, or a game balancing standpoint, rather. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plant these peas along with any accompanying crops. We don't have it, so we have peas. Gambling's not going to happen. 5 is productive. So in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and cultivate and harvest. And that may have done it. They grow corn, potatoes, got, and then spinach is the last one here. Okay, so their crops are accounted for. Let's see, I scored a little bit of a bonus there. Okay. So now the question is, who wants to grow a crop on an alternative field? The other bonus, of course, that is at play here is the crop cartels. Right? Crop cartels are 4 of a kind, right? 4 of the same. So we're going to try to go for that. See if we can't score big. So in this case, we have 3 spinach. We're going to turn that into broccoli. And that's going to be our, but we can't. So we're out. This is the last one in the bag. So here's what I would do. I would Yeah, see, this is late game mufta is where the decision making becomes multifaceted and very diversified. A lot of variations, a lot of possibilities, a lot of permutations, and complexity. And so what we're doing is can't grow the carrots, but we do want to grow that broccoli. Unfortunately, no one else has broccoli. Well, they have, but it's already been harvested. So here's an idea I've just come up with, believe it or not. Let's say you have a 3-for-1 trade, but you don't have the item. The item is simply unavailable in the game. What you could do is you could take this is a real possibility. You could take the 3 items, see here, and what you could do is they can become the placeholder crop. And so you would take the 3 spinach and you would plant them on a field. But you would have to plant them on a space where the field corresponds to whatever it is you're trying to grow. So in this case, we want the carrots. So we would take these, place them here, now, placing the crop is not, it's an activity, but it's not worth anything, right? It's not worth an action. So the actions have to actually come when the grower actually decides to farm on that field. That in itself may resolve some of these conflicts and problems I have. But again, everything's kind of up in the air, and I'm not sure what direction to go with this. So We'll see. Yeah, so anyway, that ends the game. That ends the game. And technically, I think those spinach should be harvested on the spot. So those 3 spinach turns into whatever I want. I want them to be carrots. So I actually get carrots over here. And then that, in turn, should complete my 2 crop. I would harvest my peas, of course. That should end the game, and it's also going to complete this particular grower's grand oeuvre. So let's just check and see. We got carrots, cucumbers, and broccoli. Check. We got corn, beans, radishes. Check. Peas, potatoes, squash. Yeah. Then we have kale, chard. Oh, but they didn't get spinach. Or did they? It's laying there. No, the spinach was something else. Okay, so they missed it by one crop. And that is the scenario that you're going to find yourself in over and over at the end of Oopta. You're going to find yourself tantalizingly close to finally grabbing that last item that you need. And just scoring big at the end. So these are the possibilities and permutations that come up in this. And you need to be savvy and wary on seizing the day, carpe diem these things, and you'll find yourself at the winner's table more often than not. All right, so that's going to do it, everyone, for this session of Oofta. As always, keep on playing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.